Welcome to Kitchen, what was it called? Kitchen Fantasies. Welcome to Kitchen Fantasies. I'm your chef today, Chef Ferrari. Today we're going to make something I love called tortellinis. No, they're not called tortellini, they're called tortellinis. It is a Ferrari tradition that every September we go to our cousin Scott's house and we make these things called tortellinis. Now, I have a bag of tortellinis right here, and I'm too lazy to make tortellinis from scratch, so I just bought them store-bought, but everything else will be 100% homemade. So let's start. So right now, we have two separate pots boiling of water. One is going to be for our tortellinis and this one is going to be for our spaghetti. And this one has a little bit of oil so you make sure that the spaghetti does not clump together. It also has a little bit of salt. And we forgot to add a little bit of salt on this one. You just need a quick pinch of salt and that should be good. Let it dissolve. Let the flavors already be there. So first we're going to be grabbing our spaghetti. We want our spaghetti to be al dente. What al dente is when you have your spaghetti and just a little resistance. Al dente is when your spaghetti resists a little bit when it comes to eating it. It's not all the way soft like you're biting through cotton, and it's not all the way hard like you're trying to bite through wood. It's just perfect texture. And now we have good old Giovanni Ronavana, Italy's most loved. And it is going to be his signature tortellini with prosciutto and cheese. Directions on this is we just open this bad boy up. All we do here was just gonna put them right in the boiling water. Right here. We're gonna let it sit there for about 4 minutes. It's gonna be nice and hot and perfect. Just the way Giovanni wanted it. Mamma mia, Mama Celeste. Just like what my mother used to make. You really gotta put the Italy in Italian food. You gotta really talk like you're Italian too, you know, when you have the chef from Curious George. George, what are you doing? Or you know, you also got that cartoon character.
Killer, get me something to eat.
Oh no.
Why, Killer, what are you waiting for? Get a move on, get going, scram.
No. Just gotta have a little bit of al dente with our pastas, the spaghetti, and our tortellinis. So pretty soon when those are done, we're going to start making the Alfredo sauce. So now that we've waited for quite a few minutes, we gotta check on our pasta. And it shows that our tortellinis, when they're boiling, are nice and soft and plump, and they're almost ready to go. Right here with the spaghetti side is getting a little bit softer. Still way too hard to even be considered done, so we gotta wait on that. But I think we are ready to drain these tortellinis. So we go to our sink here. They're nice, plumped, and they are really, really bloated as well. As we see that they simmer down, they are nice and cooked. You gotta, have that ready. And these are ready to go. We are going to let it sit there, and we're gonna put a little a lid over it so it can still have that heat trap inside so it doesn't come out cold. Now that we still have our pasta finishing up, I want to start making the Alfredo sauce. So you want to grab just a regular skillet, something you could cook on the surface, something you can flip around, something you can do that. It's just a random skillet, and we're just going to put it on over medium heat. Alright, so as we're warming this up, the first thing we're going to need is we are going to need to put a full stick of butter in this bad boy so it can just sit there and melt for a few minutes. Just let it sit there and melt, and we'll get back to it very shortly. So first of all, we have 1 1/2 cups of heavy cream, which is pretty expensive, so I had to pay with an arm and a leg. Next we have our baby button mushrooms. Usually Alfredo sauce is not made with some mushrooms, but today I love mushrooms. Gets you an Italian boy, I tell you. They know how to cook. So we have our baby buttons right here, and we're gonna chop these up very shortly. Then right here we have what they call it, Italian seasoning, which I don't know what the hell that is. I was all over the grocery store. I didn't know what the hell Italian seasoning was. What I did for Italian seasoning was just 1/4 of parsley, rosemary, and oregano. Then I put in half a teaspoon each of salt and pepper, and that's what is in here. And we're going to be putting that in our butter skillet very shortly. And another thing I do have is I have fresh grated Parmesan, which is very, very important to have when it comes to, you know, making the oregano. Sorry, fucking what's it called? The Alfredo sauce. You need fresh stuff, because if you got fresh ingredients, 50% of the cooking is already done. All right, better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. Looks like our butter is soon to be done, so we're gonna start preparing everything. We're gonna start off by cutting the mushrooms. So these are what they're called baby button mushrooms, and they're just tiny mushrooms, and we're just gonna cook them up to be evenly nice and thin to put in our sauce when cooking. Mushrooms are really good, they're very earthy. A lot of people don't like them unless you're a stoner, but real mushrooms, they taste like nothing. I don't know why people don't like it. Now that our butter is melted, we're going to start putting in our heavy cream. Right in here. Make sure we got everything. I'm going to grab a whisk. I'm going to make sure. We're going to turn up the heat a little bit. And we're just going to make that sit there for a little bit. Let the fat in the dairy build up, and it's going to simmer, which simmering means it is going around the, it is kind of boiling around the outer edge of your dairy. So we just put in our 1.5 cups of heavy cream with our 1/2 cup of butter melted. We're gonna let it sit there for a bit. We're gonna get a little bit warm, and we'll come right back. All right, so as we're waiting for our cream and our butter to simmer, we're gonna be checking on our tortellinis, and dude, those look ever beautiful. They have a golden little shine to it. They look great. They, as we saw, they were nice, big, and puffy. Now they've finally condensed, and they are looking great. They're still warm. We're gonna keep them right there, and let's just do the rest of the cooking. See, we can see a little bit of the boiling right here. It's simmering a little bit, and I think it's ready for our ingredients to be put in. We're looking for something nice, thick, heavy, but not too heavy, but not too light. We have to let these dairies curdle up so they become that nice and thick thing we want them to be. So we're gonna lower the heat a little bit. Our Italian season that I listed off earlier, go right in. Put that baby right in there. We'll let it mix up a bit. Get all the flavors around. Great. Next, we have the good old mushrooms. All right, we're gonna be putting them, our mushrooms a little bit scattered around. We're not gonna have too many mushrooms. I think this should be a good enough amount of mushrooms right there. And those are going to simmer with our flavors as well. Have all the butter and that cream and our Italian seasoning go right in there and seep through the holes. Next, we have our garlic, our minced up garlic. It calls for about 2 tablespoons, or I'm sorry, 2 teaspoons. And so we're gonna mix it out. This is a 1/2 teaspoon. I got this garlic from our garden we have. So 1 teaspoon, 1.5, and right there. That is 2 teaspoons of garlic. Again, we're gonna mix that together as well. As you can tell, it's already smelling quite nice. It's kind of looking nice, a little bit oily. We're just trying to wait for it to get a little bit thicker. And to make it all thick, we have the Parmesan cheese. This is 2 cups of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. So what we're going to do with our Parmesan cheese is, why not? We're just going to put it right in there, nice and even. That is going to give us the nice thick texture, and it's going to give us the flavor, and it is going to give us everything we're looking for in this great Alfredo sauce. And as we're mixing that around, we're going to let that simmer a little and kind of boil a little bit. So we're going to turn up the heat just a little bit. Let that simmer, let that bulk up, let that be thick. And finally, which if you don't use actual wine when cooking, you're a bitch, alright? We're going to be using just a little bit of red wine. Nothing for cooking wine. This is a cheap bottle, you can use anything. I'm not allowed to drink because I'm not old enough. So that's what the Hispanic people say, I think. Say arriba, abajo, asiento, yento. I think that's what it means. It's how they say cheers. So I'm going to put just a little bit. Not like that cooking video where, I forgot who it was, but she says like a teaspoon of like vodka or something.
2 shots of vodka.
So as we put the red wine in, we're mixing everything. We're cooking away the alcohol in the red wine. We're just giving it that little unique Italian flavor. As we can see, everything is coming together very, very well. Some oil spots there. We're just trying to mix it together. The more you mix, the more of all those ingredients come together, the more thick it's going to be. So as we're letting that sit now, I think this is ready. The spaghetti is ready. It feels great. You gotta always take a little bite. Al dente. Some people like to throw the spaghetti at the wall. If it sticks, it's ready, but it leaves a terrible, disgusting mess. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna put the spaghetti with the tortellinis to make sure those tortellinis are gonna stay warm with all of that boiled water and oil. So we're having this go through here. Have the spaghetti go through. It's looking great. Lift it up a little bit. Shake it all out. That should keep it warm and buy us a little bit more time. Here we are. We're seeing it getting more thick and have that color we want. A little too thin for my taste, so we're just gonna let it cook a little bit more. So as we're seeing, it's starting to thick up a little bit more. Everything's coming together. We'll give it a little bit of a taste test real quick. Whew, that's hot. That's done. A little bit of the cheese is bulking up at the bottom, so we're going to whisk that out a little bit more. And I think this should be ready. We're going to lay our spaghetti. The way we have to decorate it is it's up to you guys. I was just teaching you how to make it, but I'm going to try to decorate it my way and see if it looks a little bit appealing to you. And what you're going to do is you're going to grab a fork. You're going to twist it around. Just twist it around a little bit, just like so. Right there. We're just kind of trying for a little bit of like a mountain kind of. So then what we're going to do is we're going to be taking our tortellinis, which again are, remember, they're at the bottom of this pan. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to kind of separate the spaghetti from the tortellini. So you can put the spaghettis right back in the boiling pot it came from, and we'll reveal the tortellinis. As you can see, we're revealing a little bit of the tortellinis hiding, being warmed up by the spaghetti. What we're going to do is we're going to take each tortellini, place it down. That's right. Place it down. Make it nice, even, not too much, not too little. Nice and even. You gotta play around with it. You gotta have it to your desire. Nothing you have to do is exactly like mine. I'm just trying to give an exact thing, and what you can do is you can have a little one at the top here. All right, now for the magic. So now we have our Alfredo sauce, nice and curled up. And we're gonna lay it ever so slightly on there. Nice. Looks like it's a little too thin, a little too runny, but that's okay. You can let that soup a little bit at the bottom. Put a little through mushrooms for texture. And sometimes you can try to get that cheese and scatter it around there. Not the best looking, and I wish it could have been a little bit more thick, but this looks all right. So now what we do is we've got to finish up on top. Personally, what I do with most of my finished meals is I put in roasted garlic and herb seasoning. It has a little bit more color to it, and I think it gives it a little kick. So just slightly, you gotta let go. And if you're feeling a little bit adventurous, what you could do is you could have a little bit of oregano to put that green flavor. Actually, I'm gonna try to take a pinch of it. Right here, you pinch it with your fingers, and you scatter around the plate, like so. And there you guys have it. That is Michael Ferrari's tortellini dish. 100% made from home. All the ingredients are fresh. And if you guys really like this and you want some more cooking videos, please leave a thumbs up, comment on what I should cook next, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.